Hey everybody, my name is Laura and I am the teen librarian here at the Franklin Public Library. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to make a monogram initial Sharpie mug, and this is our teen craft of the week. If you got a teen craft kit, that's awesome. If you were not able to get one or you are not a teen, it is really easy to gather the supplies yourself. So first we just have a plain ceramic mug. These I got at IKEA for I think 70 cents each, so super easy to get. Scissors. You'll need the Sharpie marker of your choice, the color that you would like. You'll need some just regular Scotch tape. And then here is the pack that came with our teen kit. It has instructions, and then all this is a printed out font. I just thought this font looked cool and I printed it out in an appropriate size to match on the mug, and that's it. So we can go ahead and get started and I will show you how to create this cool craft. I'm going to flip the camera down here so you can hopefully see what we are doing here. There we go. That should work. Alrighty, so first we need to pick out what letter we are going to use. And I have a lot of mugs at my house and I don't really need another one. So I think I'm gonna make my mug for my mom. And her name is Jerry with a G. So I am going to cut out the letter J. And you'll wanna cut this out pretty carefully. You want to get it as close to the edges as you can. And a nice smooth cut there. Little turn is a little challenging here. There we go. All right, so we got the first part of our G. Now this annoying middle part, I usually just poke a hole through carefully. Scissors, there we go. And I can try to cut the middle part out as best as we can. Believe it or not, this is probably the hardest part of the whole craft. All right, there we go. That's looking a little better. And if it's not perfect, it's okay because you will be able to add changes later. There we go. There we go. All right. So there we have our letter G. All right, so now we are going to tape this G onto our mug. So you can decide whether you want it to be facing the person that is drinking out of the mug or if you want it to be facing on the outside. I think I'm gonna go with facing the person who is drinking the mug. So my mom can see it while she's drinking her morning coffee. So as you can see here, you want to line it up, and then we're going to get our just normal Scotch tape And you just want to roll it onto itself real small so that it makes it kind of double sticky. There we go. Like if you were hanging something onto a wall like that. And then we're just going to put it right on our letter there. And the goal here is to get the letter attached to the mug as flat as possible. So we have one right here. I'm going to add one here. If your letter is smaller, you could always take your scissors and cut the tape in half to create two smaller stickies, which is what I might do for this last part here. Here we go. So double sticky, I'm going to cut this in half. Now I have two little stickies. I'm going to put one on the end here and one on the top. There we go. So that looks pretty good. You want to try as much as possible to not let the tape go over the side because that'll make it easier to create your shape. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go ahead and line this up here, decide exactly where I want it, and I'm gonna press it down. There. So you can kind of look at it, make sure it looks good. That's where you want it. If not, you can peel it off, try it again, but I think mine looks pretty good. So our next step, we are going to take our Sharpie marker. So if you picked up one of our teen kits, you should have also gotten one colored Sharpie marker. If you have other Sharpie markers at home, you are welcome to use those, or you could even make multiple colors on your mug, however you would like. So the next step, we are going to take the cap off. And what you're gonna do is you want to create little dots all the way around your letter. And it's a little bit tedious, just to warn you. And you want to be kind of careful to keep making individual dots. If you try to go too fast, it's really easy to create more like slashes. And that's okay too if that's how you want it to look. But we're just going to keep going around. And this is why it was a good idea to try to get your letter taped as flat as possible, because that makes it real easy to just go around. Press that down there. Okay, so I got the outer layer here, and I'll go ahead and do the inner layer. And it definitely doesn't have to be perfect. The way this is going to end up looking is kind of random anyway, so if you don't get it exactly perfect, do not worry about that. Okay, so I have dots all the way around the outside and the inside of this letter. So now the next step is you just want to keep making dots, and you can kind of make this look however you'd like. But one thing that looks kind of cool is to make the dots really close together, close to the letter, and then they kind of go out in a starburst shape. Let me see if I have, yeah, so our example picture looks like that. This is one that I made for the instructions. That's what it ended up looking like there. So that is what we were kind of going for here. So I think I will start on the inside. And you just want to make dots in a random pattern. There we go. So that looks pretty good on the inside there. So now I'll keep going around. And this is kind of tedious, so just to warn you. So what I'm doing is I'm going around the letter and I'm doing it really close together. The dots are really close together, close to the letter. My hand gets a little tired there. Okay, so here we have our letter. We have kind of close together dots all the way around. So now if you want to, you can start making it more of a starburst. So you can go around again, but make the dots a little bit more spread out. A little easier when they're don't have to be quite so close together. And this is really up to you and how you want your shape to look. There's no right or wrong way to do it here. Okay, getting closer here. Just finish this up. There, that looks pretty good. Maybe add some just right here to make it a little more even. Yeah, so you can take a look at it, make sure it looks good. And if you are satisfied with how your dots look, then the next step is to very, very carefully, you want to peel your letter off, and you want to be very, 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 very careful that you do not smudge your dots because they will smudge. So you want to make sure you get your letter and the tape off. There we go. This little piece of tape stuck on. There we go. All right, and now if you ended up with a little bit of a smudge, my recommendation is to get a Q-tip and just get it a tiny bit wet. And if you just rub that off right there with the Q-tip, just very carefully, it'll come right off. But you want to do it sooner rather than later so that it will come off. And then at this point, if you see any lines that you want to kind of sharpen, that I think I want to, there we go. Add a couple right here. Yeah, so that is our mug, initial monogram mug. If you did have another color Sharpie, you could think about filling in the letter with different colored dots. That would look cool. Or you could add some different colored dots all around the edge here. That would look pretty cool. And then the last step is that you want to bake your mug. That is going to set the Sharpie ink into the ceramic. So you want to put it in the oven for 30 minutes at 350 degrees. And you want to put the mug in the oven before it heats up and then let it go for 30 minutes. And then you want to leave it in. You can turn the oven off and just leave it until it is completely cool. And that'll keep the mug from cracking. Otherwise, if you let it heat up and cool down too quickly, there could be cracks in the mug. And if you really want to get your ink in there real good, you can do that process twice. And again, that's 30 minutes at 350 degrees, putting the mug in the oven before it gets hot, and then leave it in there until it gets totally cool. And if I were you, I would not put this in the dishwasher, but that is up to you. And that is about it. So I hope that you enjoyed this demonstration of making a monogram initial Sharpie mug. I want to remind everybody that we are still doing our summer reading program. So all ages, if you want to participate and get virtual tickets to win some really cool prizes, you can do that by downloading the Beanstack app. That is BEANSTACK. And if you have any questions, you can always give us a call at the library. All right, thanks guys for tuning in, and I will see you next week with another teen craft.